From tornadoes to hurricanes, blizzards, and everything in between, you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. The Stormfront Freaks are former television meteorologist Mark Massaro, atmospheric science graduate and skywarn storm spotter Brady Harris, digital meteorologist and weather producer on the Weather Channel app DINA Nightly, former on-camera meteorologist at the Weather Channel Kim Cunningham, and I'm your announcer and Skywarn Network coordinator Mark Johnson. Now, here's the moderator of the Stormfront Freaks podcast, Skywarn storm spotter and chaser, Phil Johnson.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. If you are a first-time listener, hey, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to go to stormfrontfreaks.com to access our library of previous shows and famous guests from the weather industry, like weather app creator Paxton Calvanese and the Weatherman Umbrella founder Rick Reichmuth, who we just had on last episode. But this is episode 66, and this is exciting because it is our third annual holiday weather shopping extravaganza, and we're going to be reviewing some great weather-related items for you or your weather friends' Christmas lists. We also have some special guests from Midland Radio. We got Bruce Jones and Bruce Thomas, also known as the Bruces, here tonight. So we're happy to have them on. We also got Justin Allen from Helicity Designs is going to be stopping by for this big show. But before we get to all that, we can't forget one of the most important parts, which is introducing all of our co-hosts so that you got a feel for who they are and what they sound like. But we always do it during happy hour. It's always happy hour when we record. So let's shoot around the horn, MJ. I'm going to start with you. What are you drinking tonight?
All right, happy tonight with Michelob Amber Bock. I went to an old standard.
That's a heavier fall beer. That's good. Maz, what do you got?
Right. Well, I got a little heavy water, or hard water. Sorry, not heavy water. It's Henry's hard sparkling water. And you got to be careful when you're packing your kids' lunch because it looks like regular water, so you can't put that in there. But
like
hey,
hard Sprite, is that what
What's
that
in
is?
it?
it's like it's lemon lime, so it's kind of like Sprite without the sugar but added alcohol.
Oh,
Perfect.
So it's a little like, that's kind of surprising. So
set me up.
Although
that.
I like heavy water. That someone should trademark that one. Right? H3O, yeah.
There you go.
All right, Kim, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm having some wine. I am having a, I guess it's a Cabernet. I can't really tell on this.
Wow, she's drinking
It's
the
a
whole
red.
bottle.
It's a red blend. I wanted to show you the bottle for those of you who can't see this, but it says Black Cloud, and I actually bought this over Halloween, and I haven't drank it, so I decided to open it up, and it's really good. So it's a red blend, and
Awesome.
You opened it today?
a couple days ago.
All right, Dina, how you feeling, and what are you drinking tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's weird that Kim's drinking wine and not beer, and I'm drinking beer and not wine.
No way!
I know. Well, I was trying to keep it light because I'm still on pain medication. I
Can
don't
you
want
show us your arm?
Trying to keep it light.
Oh gosh,
So
Dina.
she's got her arm in a cast. All right. Well, and then I found out too, it's never a great show unless we know our guests in the green room are helping themselves to our stocked bar. But I understand the Bruces are joining us. So Jonesy, we'll start with you. What are you drinking?
Well, luckily I work with a guy who's a certified Kentucky colonel. So when he travels to Kentucky, they hook him up with a whole suitcase full of hooch.
And some chicken.
So I'm drinking Four Roses single barrel.
Wow.
Wow.
By Kentucky Colonel Bruce Thomas.
He's bringing
Nice.
some fanciness to the show.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas, you gotta step up. Then you gave him that. You gotta have a step up from that. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking 100 proof E.H. Taylor.
I got some of that.
Surviving bourbon.
Nice.
Oh,
they're
my
bringing it tonight.
God.
Oh wow!
I wanna
Somebody's
show
going to
this
be dancing pretty
container
soon.
I
because
can't wait.
This is,
Look at that
this,
container.
This actually survived an F3 tornado in 2006, and then they bottled it in 2012 and sold it. And someone in Kentucky gave it to me as a present.
Wow.
So I broke it out tonight
Yeah.
That's liquid gold right there.
Yeah.
We feel very special. Very special.
You know, I feel unworthy at this point. I'm just drinking a pumpkin beer. Jeez. All right, well let's do this. Let's stop wasting time, and Kim, let's give our guests a good formal introduction.
All righty. Bruce Jones and Bruce Thomas are known as the Bruces from Midland. They're both former TV meteorologists who believe strongly that every home, school, and business should have a NOAA weather radio. Now, Thomas was on the air during the Gerald, Texas tornado. That was May 27th of 1997. And Jones was living outside Rapid City, South Dakota on June 9th of 1972 when the big flood killed 238 people.
Wow.
I know it. They continue to spread the word that NOAA Weather Radio saves lives. And, you know, that is that's quite a story, and just love that you guys are working to get these NOAA Weather Radios out to people. So we'd love to hear how this all came to be, how you guys got together, and how you get these radios to schools, to people's homes and businesses.
Jonesy?
No, I was going to throw it to you, Thomas. You go ahead and start.
Bruce, tell us.
Well, we both go way back with weather radio, and strange things happen in your lives when you're on television. Bruce Jones and I were competitors in Kansas City. He was on the ABC station, I was on the CBS station, and we were actually not even friendly competitors because we really didn't know each other that well, but we were friends. But we got to know each other later as we started promoting NOAA Weather Radio. We both always promoted to have a NOAA Weather Radio when we were at our TV stations. And we would only really be able to send people to Radio Shack to get one because that was the only place really to get a weather radio, seemed like, for decades. And back in 2000, around 2003, a major tornado came through Kansas City in F4. And I worked with Midland Radio Corporation. I was on the CBS station KCTV5 at that time, and helped promote NOAA Weather Radio after the tornado. We promoted before also, but we got to know each other pretty well, and my contract was coming to an end, as many of you that worked in television know how that is. And I got together with a friend, wrote a business plan, went over to Midland Radio, and they threw me out. Get rid of that guy.
Oh.
Threw me out 2 times. And the third time I went in, I said, look, there is going to be a lot of hurricanes. My friends at the National Hurricane Center tell me there's going to be a lot of hurricanes in Florida in the summer of 2004. This was
oh wow.
And then I went to the AMS conference in New Orleans, Louisiana that June, and we handed out 200 Midland Weather Radios.
Wow. Good
and those 200 weather radios ended up on CNN, the Weather Channel, and all the AMS certified meteorologists at that convention got one to take home. This is 2004, June 2004. And I was just freelancing for Midland. I did not work for them. I just said, give me a van full of radios and pay my expenses, and that'll do that. And to finish the story, Hurricane Charlie hit on August 13th, I believe it was, and they hired me exactly a month later on September 13th to start the weather radio promotion that Bruce Jones and I have been doing together combined for 25 years of our time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it happened.
I still have my old the weather radio from Radio Shack from the 80s. Still have it.
Still works.
Yeah, still works.
It does. Yeah, it goes off for every single warning within like.
That was generation 1 of NOAA Weather Radio.
Yes,
for everything. Yeah.
So tell me, Jonesy, where'd you get your passion for this kind of work as far as promoting weather radios, and what was your ground level incident that made you go, this is something I want to do?
Well, I started off in radio down in Columbia, Missouri at KFRU, and it was a news talk station, and we did a lot of severe weather coverage. But I used to tell people, now when you go to bed at night, you got to have something to wake you up. so that then you can turn on my radio station. Because if you wake up and turn us on, we'll do the wall-to-wall coverage on our AM radio station. So that was something that I started early on, saying, look, if you'll get a NOAA weather radio and plug it in, when it goes off, turn to our radio station and we'll take you through the storm. And it just so happened that later that year, we had a really bad derecho, straight line windstorm come through Columbia, Missouri. And that really focused a lot of people's attention on that. So this is my 42nd year.
Wow.
Of telling people, if you live in the United States of America and you do not have a weather radio, you need to talk to a good psychiatrist.
Get one. They're not that expensive.
No.
What's that?
You got to get one. They're not that expensive.
No, and you know, it's just a little device that gives you a direct broadcast from the National Weather Service, and you know, it'll give you, on average, I think they're averaging a 13-minute lead time on tornado warning. So here's this little gizmo. It's about $30, and you plug it in, and it just sits there. And most of the year, it doesn't do nothing, make no noise whatsoever. But on that one night where you're not paying attention, where you don't have your cell phone operating, your cell phone battery's dead, whatever, that thing will go off and it'll save your life. And so I guess that's my point, is why would you not have a NOAA weather radio? It's so easy, so inexpensive, and it could save your family's life.
And, you know, you guys, I think that they're great gifts. I gave all of my family one last year for Christmas, you know, that they don't have one. I thought, you know, you love your family, you love your friends, that if they don't have them, this is a great gift that shows that you love them and you want to make sure they're safe. So I think it's a great idea. But I also would like to know if you do have any good stories. I mean, if you have any feedback from people who have actually, it has saved their lives, and do you promote those stories as well?
Thomas has a couple of real doozies. Thomas, lay it on him.
Well, the one that came to mind when you were asking that was there was a really wicked F4 tornado, the EF4 tornado that hit Louisville, Mississippi. I want to say it was 2012, and it went right through town, knocked out the hospital, knocked out a bunch of homes. We had a NOAA Weather Radio programming event. We work with local TV stations and do these programming events on the Thursday before the tornado at the local Walgreens store on Main Street. And the pharmacy tech lady that worked there, she bought a weather radio for her home and took it home, set it up. We programmed it for her, and she went home and plugged it in. And the Monday afterwards, just 3 or 4 days later, this tornado came through the community, and she had gone home and put her feet up, and I think she was actually having a cold beer. And her kids kept coming in saying, "Mom, the weather radio keeps going off. Mom, the weather radio keeps going off. Mom, it says Winston County." Oh. And so they all got up and got in the bathtub, and their whole home exploded.
Wow.
And her husband was a welder, or is a welder on oil pipelines, and he wasn't home. He was in Oklahoma working, and she credited that weather radio to saving her whole family's life.
Yeah.
And that's why Bruce Jones and I feel so passionately about this, because we've heard this over and over and over. And we've also had stories where people wish they'd have had a weather radio that would have saved their family's life. Yeah. And we have, Bruce, you want to tell the story about Parkersburg, Iowa?
Oh, the last words. Yeah. We went up on the 1-year anniversary of the F5 in Parkersburg, Iowa, and it was kind of a sad thing. But there was a gentleman up there that was interviewed on ABC World News Tonight, and he had purchased a weather radio just on a whim. He was going about a week before, 2 weeks before, had been going through Walmart, saw it, $30. He said, "What the heck?" Put it in the basket, took it home, set it up, plugged it in, didn't really think about it. And on the day of the Parkersburg tornado, he's just kind of hanging around the house, just, relaxing. And the weather radio goes off, and it informs him that it's coming right toward Parkersburg. And he called his family. He has grown kids. He called the 4 of them and let them know that it was coming. And then he and his wife got into the basement, and they were right in the F5 swath of the tornado. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So, we get these stories all the time from people. And honestly, now a lot of folks are saying, well, I've got my cell phone. My cell phone's going to go off and my cell phone will work. And we know a lot of stories also of people who either they didn't have their cell phone turned on, or the battery was dead, or the cell phone tower went down, or the cell phone system was clogged by too much traffic. And it goes on and on and on. And Bruce and I deal with emergency managers across the country. We deal with Homeland Security, emergency management, FEMA. And I can tell you, these emergency managers, they're scared for America because the average American thinks their cell phone is going to do everything for them in a big disaster. And the fact of the matter is, and I work with Los Angeles County Fire, and the fact of the matter is, LA County Fire is telling people when the big earthquake hits, there will be no cell phone service for all of Southern California, and it could be out for weeks. So people need to understand that you can't rely on this cell phone for everything. I know it works great on a partly cloudy day, but in the basement that I'm in here in Kansas, on May 2nd of this year, my family and I were over here during a tornado warning that we heard on NOAA Weather Radio. I did not receive the cell phone warning on this cell phone that I'm pointing at until 22 minutes after that tornado warning had been issued.
Wow.
We had confirmed tornadoes, one of them 2 miles north, an F1, and another 2 miles south of me, an F2, confirmed on the ground tornadoes that went either side of us. And my cell phone did not deliver that warning until 22 minutes after it was issued.
Wow.
So I ask you, why would you not have a NOAA Weather Radio?
Do you have any stats, Bruce, on how many people do not have a weather radio in the United States or in your individual states? Is there any kind of statistics on that?
Thomas, the majority of people do not have a NOAA Weather Radio.
No, it's according really what part of the country you live in. We know where we have sold so many radios over the time. We know where large quantities of weather radios exist in America based on our sales patterns and promotional patterns. But I was going to talk to you about Paradise, California. Remember the article we got today, Bruce, about Paradise, California?
Yeah.
Why don't you address that real quick?
Yeah, we've had some issues in the California fires last year in the Carr Fire, which is up near Napa Valley. And then this year with the Camp Fire and also the fire burning down near Malibu, where, again, the cell phone system is becoming so overloaded that people are not receiving these warnings in time. We've had wildfires burn here in Kansas. We've had wildfires in Oklahoma. We had the Bastrop County, Texas wildfire that destroyed 1,600 homes, burned down all the power lines, burned out all of the cell phone towers. And the only way they could warn people to get out of Bastrop County and get away from that fire was NOAA Weather Radio.
Wow.
They lost 1,600 homes. It was the worst wildfire in Texas history. But thankfully, only 2 lives were lost. That's too many. But only 2 lives were lost. But NOAA Weather Radio was the only thing operating in Bastrop County, Texas, because the cell phone towers had burned out, the power lines had burned out, and NOAA Weather Radios have battery backup. So they work even when the power goes out.
You know, most people think weather radios, they're always thinking tornadoes. Maybe they're thinking hurricanes if they're in that area. How many different kinds of potential disastrous warnings are there do the weather radios pick up?
Well, they call it all hazards NOAA Weather Radio because, the county emergency managers could also use it. But you could get everything from nuclear attack warnings to a law enforcement emergency, like a prison break. You could have a radiological emergency. You could have a chemical spill out on the highway. Civil emergency message can cover a lot of different territories. So the National Weather Service can use it. The President of the United States could use it, and your local county emergency managers could use it. So even on a partly cloudy day, it's possible that NOAA Weather Radio might go off to tell you there's been a train derailment and chlorine gas is leaking from 3 of the tank cars.
I didn't even know it did all those.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a list of over 60 different things it will alert for. But one thing that was amazing this year recently is when we were watching Hurricane Michael make landfall at Mexico Beach, just before it went on shore, the National Weather Service issued something new called a high wind warning, or what was it? Extreme wind warning.
Extreme wind warning.
Extreme wind warning. I'd never seen one before. It was the first time I'd ever witnessed it. And it was for an extreme wind warning for sustained 130 mile an hour winds.
Wow.
And the weather radios were activated in that area. I mean, think about it. A weather radio is very boring. It goes off, 6 hours in advance of a tornado watch, and then a severe thunderstorm warning, and then and then maybe a tornado warning. But it's not sexy. It just works, and that's that's what we keep telling people. And I know we're all in this big digital revolution, but again, you need some analog based systems. And we tell people if they have 3 ways of getting warned in a major disaster, one of those 3 is probably going to still work.
Yeah. I'm gonna to this. I'm gonna ask you guys here in a second about the programming of these radios.
Okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and take a short break. Go ahead and refill your drink. We're going to be right back with the Bruces to highlight some of the great products this Christmas from Midland as well. We'll be right back. All right, well, welcome back. Hey, so we're here with Bruce Jones and Bruce Thomas from Midland Radio, and we were talking a little bit about weather radios, and I think a question I've got, and I'll start, Bruce Thomas, with you, is Kim had mentioned how she gave these last Christmas to her family members, which I think is a great idea. The question is, I don't know if these are plug and play kind of instruments, right? That I think a challenge can be, especially with the same technology, what has to go into programming. So what have been your guys' experience, and what do you feel is the best way to better educate people on the whole programming of those?
Okay, let's start out by first what activates a NOAA Weather Radio. It's either a 1050 hertz signal or a same burst. Now, the old technology before 1998 was all 1050 hertz tone that would actually wake up. Weather radios are self-activating. That's what the Weather Service used. Now, when they invented the SAME code system, SAME, specific area message encoding, that came in the late 90s. It allowed people to select a county and put in a 6-digit code for their county. Now, since around 2012, we have databases built into all our radios with all the counties built in. So all you do is go US or Canada, because weather radios work across Canada as well, same frequencies. Matter of fact, our weather radios are sold across Canada also. And then you just select your county, your state, your county, and the weather radio is programmed for that county. Then you select your transmitter. There's 7 frequencies of NOAA Weather Radio, and you have to go and get the strongest frequency. Most times that is what you want, the one with the strongest signal coming into your radio to alert, to actually turn the radio on when it needs to in the middle of the night or in the middle of the afternoon. It receives a signal from the Weather Service that actually wakes the radio up and gives you that alarm that tells you need to go listen to it or read it. It'll scroll the warning also across the screen. And I was going to activate one real quick just to show you kind of what it sounds like for those of you that are listening that have never heard one before. That'll get your attention.
Yeah, it does.
It's next to your bed in the middle of the night, which I actually keep one in every level of my home. And we have one I keep it in our bathroom area. And then I keep one in the kitchen. I have one in our tornado safe room in the basement. So here in Kansas, we have a lot of safe rooms, and my house has a concrete reinforced rebar steel safe room in the basement under the front porch.
Oh, that's good.
So I feel strongly that people it's great to get the warning, but you also have to have somewhere to go.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah,
and that's my big message to everyone is, you know,
come to Bruce's house.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
you're all invited.
Party at Bruce's.
We have good.
We'll post
we have
your
good
address
libations.
later.
But that's another thing, you know, I feel strongly about, because I've seen a lot of people killed by tornadoes in my career. And having worked in Texas for 10 years and here in Kansas for the last 20, you need several ways of being warned. A weather radio is your simplest and best way and fastest. The fastest way to get a warning is on weather radio also. No one can deny that. But then you got to have somewhere to go. You need to have a family plan of action. And I just want to throw that in there tonight because, you know, most people watching are weather freaks, right? So
Right.
You already know that. But spread the word on that. You need a family plan so that when you do get that tornado warning for your area, you know, you react and not just go walk outside and look around like they do in Oklahoma. But, you know.
So you mentioned there's 7 frequencies and you picked the strongest one. What is it possible to get the wrong frequency by accident and not get the proper tone?
It could happen, but not very likely. Only a few transmitters transmitters do overlap.
Okay.
But generally the strongest signal is the one that will tone alert your radio.
Okay.
Now, there is a chart that you can go through online at weather.gov/NWR. So it's weather.gov/NWR. And you go in there and you can go find your transmitter that services your counties and know which way. And it'll show us a signal strength donut, basically. And that'll tell you where you fall into that. But
that's good.
yeah, and also you can call us in the box. We have our phone number. We have a whole bank of some wonderful customer service people. And I will say that Midland Radio has the best customer service of any electronics company out there. We have wonderful people that from 8:30 or 8 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon do nothing but help people program their radios, answer their questions, replace broken products. You know, and we really pride ourselves that we do that for our customers. And I always tell the people that do that, how much we appreciate it, because people call and it's really amazing when the local TV meteorologists go on 2 or 3 days out and start talking about high risk, moderate risk, slight risk. Our phones start ringing off the hook at Midland Radio.
So guys, like I know on my weather radio I've had for years, you could set the warnings you want to be alerted to. So like you're not going to it's not going to go off in the middle of the night for a wind advisory, but it will for a tornado watch or a tornado warning. Right. Now you guys were saying there's a lot of other things that it will warn on, like chemical spills and things. Now say I don't set my radio up for that. Can it be overridden?
It's just, you set it backwards. You don't set your radio up to receive stuff. You tell your radio not to receive stuff. Everything is defaulted on.
Right. Okay.
And what you do is you go in and tell it, do not tone alert for an amber. Let's say you do not want to have an amber alert waking you up in the middle of the evening or night. Some states don't allow amber alerts between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. on NOAA Weather Radio.
Okay.
So you can program to not pick up zombie apocalypse.
That's right.
But I want that.
No, it's still going to get it. It's still going to get it. But you tell the radio not to alert you to it.
Gotcha. Because it's always going off, you know.
You can turn the alarm off.
It says brains.
For any warning or any watch except a tornado warning or a nuclear radiological attack. Those are the two that they don't give you an option, at least on our radios.
And hurricane warning.
To turn off.
Okay.
Hurricane warning too.
Hurricane
the real
warning?
Biggies, yeah.
The biggies.
Warning. Yeah, you can't turn those off.
All right, so hey, let's do this because so we've been talking about weather radios, and this is our holiday weather shopping extravaganza, and I think Kim mentioned it by saying it's a great gift to give to folks.
Yes.
I want to talk about some of these highlights, gentlemen, that Midland has sent to us to talk about. And I want to start first with the good old classic, the WR120 weather radio. And Kim, you got one of those.
I do.
So maybe tell us a little bit what it was. Why were you attracted to that one? What it is you like about that, and then we'll kind of let the Bruces jump in as well.
I think it was the size for one. I mean, I don't want this big clunky thing.
Can you show it while you're talking about it?
Yeah, I can. It's about 4, maybe 5 inches. wide and long. So I thought it was a great size because, again, you don't have a lot of space maybe in your house, so on your counter. So this is a great, size, I thought.
That looks like you could put it on your wall, right, Kim?
Yeah, I mean,
You can hang it on the wall.
you can. It's got little things on the back.
Yeah.
That you can do it, or you can just set it up on your counter. So you can hang it on the wall too. So I liked that about it. I also liked it seemed very simple looking, easy to navigate. Also, I liked that it had the window that you could read it as well as hearing it. And the weather and the snooze button. I mean, all you do is press this weather thing and it'll pick up the National Weather Service. But it's also a radio or clock. So, an alarm clock.
Oh, I like that.
So I like all those features too. It's great to have, next to your bed. So that's what attracted me to it. I think the size more than anything. So
Jonesy, what can you add about anything you want to add about that particular model?
On that model, you can tell it to go off only for watches and warnings for your specific county. And you can tell it, I don't want to hear the Amber Alerts. I don't want to hear the this and that. So it's a great tool. And let me tell you, one thing about a weather radio, it's designed to do one thing and one thing only. I travel a lot. I've got a 7th grader and a 10th grader in my house, and my wife is here. And when I'm away from home, they all have cell phones. But cell phones make a lot of little beeps and noises and chirps and burps and this and that. And, you don't know what's coming in on a cell phone. But I'll tell you, when that weather radio goes off, they know it's one thing and it's one thing only. It's a weather alert or an emergency alert that pertains to the county we live in. And my kids are trained to respond to that, to go and listen. Yep. Is the tornado coming for us? Is it near us? And if so, they come down to the basement. So when I travel, I don't have to worry about my wife and kids. They've got a plan and they've got a device that's going to do one thing and one thing only. It's going to protect them with a direct broadcast from the National Weather Service. Yep,
and I'll tell you that one's the classic. I think it's mentioned. It's the gold standard of NOAA weather radios, but that's the one I've seen in WalMarts, and I've seen in hardware stores, and I've seen everywhere. It retails for $39.99 at MidlandUSA.com, but I know you can find that particular model all over the place. The other one that we want to talk about is the ER210. It's called the E Plus Ready Compact. This is a long name. Compact Emergency Crank Weather Radio, and this is your kind of catch-all travel weather radio. What I would call this, because it's handheld, it's red. It's one of these little handheld items. But it's got, as far as power, I know it's got solar at the top, so it can be powered by solar. I was wondering if
that was solar when you looked. When I
it's got the hand crank on the back, so you can crank it up by hand. It also has a rechargeable battery. And what's also neat about this particular one also is you can charge it's got a USB charger on it, so you can charge your phone. And because this itself is charged by solar or hand crank, you don't have to worry about this being one of those little power cells that you try and charge your phone with, because eventually that's going to run out of power as well. But Bruce Thomas, what else can you tell us about the ER210?
It's got a 2200 milliamp lithium battery in it, and that battery will completely recharge most mobile devices at least one time before you have to recharge it. But the one thing you didn't show was the Cree flashlight. Now, the flashlight has a two-position button on it.
Come on, let's see the flashlight, Phil.
It's on there. Here it is. You see it.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. You see it on the front.
Well,
but
it's got a 3-position deal. It's a low, it's a high, and the third push of the button pulses SOS Morse code.
Nice. Really?
Nice.
That's cool.
So when you do that, if you're out in the woods or out on your boat and your engine fails and it's getting dark and you need help, you can actually turn that flashlight towards shore, push that button on the third button, and it'll send out the SOS Morse code on the flashlight. And it's a Cree bulb, which means it's a high intensity LED bulb that doesn't use much power. So you get hours and hours and hours of usage off that 2200 milliamp lithium battery. Yeah. I call it our Swiss Army knife of emergency.
Yep. I think that's a good name for it, because it's also got AM/FM radio as well as the NOAA weather radio. But you can find that retails at $49.99 at midlandusa.com as well. And then the third one to really highlight is the EX3 SVP. So these are the product titles, but it's the E Plus Ready walkie-talkie kit. So this is a kit that comes in a soft case, opens up, and it's got 3 of the little handheld two-way radios. It's got 2 of those in here. But the two-way radios, besides having the 22 different channels, it also has a weather alert radio on these as well, range of 26 miles on these things. And these are pretty cool, too, because they are, if I remember reading this, they have some kind of water resistance as well.
Nice.
So they can get
Get
a little wet. And the kit comes with a little whistle with a compass on it. And on the other side is a thermometer, which is neat. And then there's also a mini tactical flashlight, these cool handheld flashlights as well. So what, Jonesy, what else can you tell us about this set?
Well, these are the two-way radios that LA Fire, LA County Fire, and San Bernardino County Fire are training citizens to use out in Southern California. And I was just out there 2 weeks ago, and I spoke with LA County Fire's comms trainer for Laurel Canyon. He lives in Laurel Canyon. He trains people up and down Laurel Canyon to communicate in between the homes and with LA County Fire on units just like that. And I can guarantee you, I haven't contacted them, but I can guarantee you, radios like that, the little two-way handheld walkie-talkies, were probably very useful to those people out there in California.
Oh, I can imagine.
Bruce Brothers, got a question for you. So I don't know if you guys have this on any of your products right now, but what about like if you have the hearing impaired community? Is there anything with a strobe, or is that something that can be programmed in future ones? Or
no, we have it. On all of our radios, we have an external jack. All of our desktop radios have an external, it says external alert, a little button, a little hole on put it, and we sell a little red strobe light that pulses with a cord that you plug in, has Velcro on the back, and you just, it sells for less than $20.
Oh yeah, I have seen those little strobe lights. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
We have it, and then for the hearing impaired, they can read the actual warning scrolling across the screen of the face of the radio. Once they see the strobe, they have to come over and read the warning, because obviously they can't hear the radio. Right. So the strobe lights to give them, get their attention, and then have someone who's hearing impaired to actually come read. It's a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning on the face of the radio. That's cool. The technology. That's where we are at this point.
Awesome.
Wow, that's great.
All right, so the walkie-talkie kit also retails for $49.99 at midlandusa.com. And so great. I think it's 3 extremely affordable weather radios. One's kind of more of a home unit. One is certainly a portable unit, and then you got the dual walkie-talkie set that also has the weather radios in it as well. So I think that's a great lineup. Jonesy, tell us where people can find you or follow you and Midland on USA, on social media. Sorry.
Oh, on social media.
Yeah.
I'm a late bloomer on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm Cyclone Jones 1 on Twitter. And then Thomas, what are you, Thomas? Weatherman?
I'm Bruce WX Man, WXMAN.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how about Midland? Where can people get more information or find out more?
MidlandUSA.com is our website. You can go to MidlandRadio.com too, but MidlandUSA.com takes you in, and we sell a myriad of products. We have emergency products. The weather radio fall into, and then the E-Ready stands for emergency ready. That's what the E stands for.
Oh, okay.
So, and then we are coming out with a new line of lanterns and battery with high intensity bulbs, and also soon you'll be seeing, we call them generators, but they're not. They're huge lithium cells, and these things range in cost from $600 to $1,200. And it's like having your own lithium bank that you can run even small refrigerators on.
Wow.
So this will be coming out. we have some of them out now, and they'll be out. We'll debut them at CES in Las Vegas.
So, like, how big? How big? Like,
they weigh about 25 pounds.
Oh, okay.
It's like in a Pelican case. It almost looks like a Yeti, a small Yeti cooler. It has a handle and has fans, and it'll recharge anything and everything, and it'll run lights and fans, and that is going to be. I took it to an emergency management show in Iowa last month, and they just went wild over it. Everybody.
How does that charge? Does that solar? Or
you charge it. You can hook a solar panel to it in a remote situation, but you can plug it into a generator, or you can plug it into regular AC power, and it has AC power plugs on it, and then USB ports, and several different ways of charging out of it. That's really what
you charge it up first.
Right.
Yeah, you charge it and you keep it. Lithium holds its power for a long, long time.
Yeah. So another thing I'll point out very quickly, in a disaster where you're going to lose power for some time, anybody who requires insulin has to be refrigerated. And these batteries will run one of those small refrigerators for about 48 hours. And that could be a real lifesaver for somebody on insulin.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, hey, let's do this. It is time now for our lightning round. This is our game show of flashy questions for our guests. We always invite everybody to play along with us, so we're going to have some fun tonight. We are going to play Cards Against Humanity match game.
Oh, God.
That's what we're playing. So are you guys familiar with Cards Against Humanity?
Sadly, yes, Phil. We are.
Some of you are. Okay. Yeah. So it's basically a good old match game, and if you're familiar with match game, what we're going to do is we are going to I'm going to go through a sentence from Cards Against Humanity with a blank. I'm going to pit Jonesy versus Thomas. They're going to have to think of what to fill the blank in with, and all of our co-hosts they're going to be our celebrity panel. They also have to fill in the blank. And the goal of the Bruces is to try and match as many of our celebrity co-hosts as they possibly can. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get this started off. Everybody get their paper and pen ready. And here is the first one, okay? I drink to forget blank. I drink to forget blank. So go ahead, everybody fill in what you think that blank is. And the goal of the Bruces is obviously to try and match as many of the co-hosts as they can. Give you a few more seconds to figure that out. All right, so here we go. Let's. I'm going to start with Jonesy. I drink to forget
my bad bosses.
His bad bosses. Okay.
There haven't been many.
That's very good. So drink to forget the bad bosses. All right, and then let's go over to Thomas. I drink to forget
my life.
My life. Interesting. All right, so let's see what our matches are. I'm going to start with MJ. MJ, what do you drink to forget?
I think I might have a match for one of them here, maybe.
Okay.
Whoops, can you see everything?
Everything.
Wow.
Judges. All right, judges, that's a plus for Bruce Thomas. So life and everything, we'll go ahead and count that as a match. So I should keep track of this. All right, we got to keep score somehow.
Okay.
Not that it matters, but you never know. All right, let's go to Maz. I drink to forget.
Calculus.
You have to. You remember calculus? I guess that's maybe the question to ask.
How about dynamics?
Not anymore.
All right, Kim. Kim? What do you drink to forget?
Nobody take this personally.
Okay. I drink to forget you.
Well, really?
Yeah, we're. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of take that personal, actually. You say you, and it's pretty directed. All right, Dina. What do you drink to forget?
All right. Can you see that?
You drink to forget politics.
Oh,
very
gosh,
good.
That's a good one.
However, that is not a match. And we do have Brady joining us. So, Brady, thank God you actually made this a reunion of everybody for the first time in a billion shows.
Horrible. I should have known when I
we don't care. We don't care to hear about it. We don't care.
Blah,
What?
blah, blah, blah.
So I could probably guess what you drink to forget right now, but what do you drink to forget?
You know, it was also politics.
Show it up. Oh, politics. That doesn't match.
No.
All right, so good. So, Thomas, you got a point on that. Jonesy, you got nothing.
Nothing.
We're going to go to question 2. Here we go. It's kind of fitting a little bit for the upcoming season, but here's the sentence. Instead of coal, Santa now gives bad children blank. Instead of coal, Santa now gives bad children blank. So go ahead and everybody figure out your fill in the blank answer. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start it off with Bruce Thomas. Instead of coal, Santa now gives bad children what?
Mobile devices.
What devices?
Mobile devices.
Mobile devices.
From Alabama.
Okay. Mobile devices.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, it's probably true. Jones, instead of coal, what's Santa giving the kids nowadays?
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Whoa.
Wow, mobile devices and candy corn. Let's see if we got any matches. I'm going to start with Maz. What's Santa giving the bad kids today?
Well, I added a word. Now it's calculus homework.
Calculus homework.
Jeez.
Wow.
You know.
You got something against calculus, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right, Kim, what's Santa giving the bad kids?
Oh, I recognize this.
Hold it.
You got to talk while you're holding it
Oh,
up.
okay. Do you see what that is?
It looks like a triangle.
It's that emoji, you know, that means caca, you know?
Oh, steaming
the
palm.
caca, the poop emoji is
yes,
what
the
that
poop
is.
emoji.
All right.
Sorry.
That's I don't think that's a match either. You know, for a second I thought it looked like candy corn.
Me too.
That's what it was.
Should
That's
be a
what
match.
it was.
That's a
The
match.
next day. Yeah.
All right, Dina.
All right.
Santa now gives the bad children
Dead batteries.
dead
Oh,
batteries.
that's a good one.
On.
Well,
On their
you know,
mobile
it's
devices.
right. There is a little bit of a connection there.
Half point.
Check with the judges. Let me check with the judges. No, judges. All right, Brady. Instead of coal, Santa's giving the bad kids what?
Bleach. That's about the worst thing.
Bleach.
What?
Wow, that's a tough household,
That's like,
but clean.
good Lord, that's dangerous. Okay, and MJ, I'll finish with you. Let's get a match out of this one.
Okay, we're going to the judges on this one to give them flip phones.
Flip phone. That is a match. Thomas. That is good. All right.
You guys
Flip
got the
phones.
wavelength going or something there.
Wow, kids have got to freak out with a flip phone. What do I do with this?
Make a call.
All right, let's do one more. We're going to do one more. Here we go. Blank. It gets better with age. Blank. It gets better with age. All right, now again, the goal is to match, try and match. So think what might be a popular answer. But what's getting better with age? Blank gets better with age. Give you a couple seconds. All right, here we go. Let's Jones, I'm going to start with you again this time. What's getting better with age?
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's actually a good one. I would agree with you on that. Bruce Thomas, what do you got?
You know, I put marriage.
Marriage.
Oh, wow.
You would get 50% of the population would probably agree
You're
with
an
you on that.
optimist. I love it. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so let's go down the horn and see if we get any matches. Kim, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. What do you think is getting better with age?
This might be a match. I'm not sure, but.
Sex. All right,
Sex.
judges.
Wow.
Judges. All right, we're going to match that to marriage.
There's no sex in
Love
You know what?
and marriage.
You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because
No,
you know
don't
that
do
could,
it. Don't do it.
that could be tied to bourbon. That could. So I'm going to give that to Jonesy as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sex and
I
bourbon,
asked
sex
my
and
wife,
marriage.
I asked my wife, how come you never tell me when you're satisfied after sex? She says, you're never around.
Yeah, we need a sound effect.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so we got a double match on that. I'm going to go with Dina. What's getting better with age in your
Wine
life?
and alcohol.
Oh,
Wine and alcohol. I got one with bourbon.
There you go.
I'll give a bourbon match. All right, I got 3-2. Favor of Thomas. All right, Brady, what's getting better with age? You're a young pup, but what's getting better?
Not happy about that one. Not happy about that one.
Zach. All right.
Brady, maybe you're doing it wrong.
We're doing
There's hope for you, Brady.
There's hope. There's hope. All right, MJ, what's getting better with age?
An old match game answer. Whoopee.
All right.
Hey!
Wow.
How old is she now? That's what I want to know.
And I'm doing a double on that. So right now I'm showing 5-4. It's 5-4 in favor of Bruce Thomas and Maz. You're gonna decide the winner, I think.
Believe it or not, I have two answers. The first one was Colonel Thomas, and I crossed it out, and I put my wife.
There you go.
I had
Very good.
Thomas.
So
What a
that's,
kiss up. Oh, my
well,
God.
Listening, man.
Hey, Black Friday's coming.
all right. So I got Bruce Thomas winning 6-4 in that. So well done, Bruce's.
Thank
You
you.
guys, you played well and you drank well, so I
Yes.
appreciate it. Thanks, thanks for playing. We're gonna do this. We're gonna take our final break. Stay right here as we've got some amazing weather products for your list this season. We also have Justin from Helicity Design stopping by the studio, so we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Hey, we're excited to have with us tonight Justin Allen from HelicityDesigns.com. If you're not familiar with Helicity Designs, you're crazy, because you got to check out this store. He is brilliant. He's got some extremely creative merchandise. If you are a weather freak like us, it's unbelievable. And so, Justin, I'm going to kind of turn it over to you first, and if you could tell us a little bit about what kind of things you carry on HelicityDesigns.com. What are some of your most popular things?
Wow. What don't I carry? I'd say right now we have over, I want to say 500 to 600 products. We add more usually every week. I mean, almost anything you can imagine I can probably make. It just started because we used to, for every hobby out there, you have shirts, you have designs, you have products. You never had anything for weather except some corny, like, I'm a storm chaser. If you see me going this way, go that way, stuff like that. So I'm like, what kind of cool stuff can we have for the community? And we started off with 10 shirts, selling them for $20 a piece. This was before we had the free shipping, and, economics gets in the way and all that. But it just grew from there. I found out more that I can add more products. People ask for things. Most of the stuff in our store is from people asking. So, I mean, we have, home goods, shoes, we have shower curtains, we have car seat covers, anything you can imagine, we pretty much have.
And tell us, what are some of the more popular, like, sayings and things like that people are buying on the shirts and the...
I'll tell you, hands down, our most popular design is the severe outlook design. It sells more than anything else on any product.
Explain what that is.
Oh, it's the, marginal, slight, moderate, high, all that. Besides that, the Echo Walk shoes are definitely, we just sold our 100th pair on November 2nd.
All right.
Of Echo Walks.
Awesome.
Right now we have sneakers, high tops, and heels. I'm going to be coming out with slippers and fur boots. So that'll be nice.
Nice.
We just released our grip stands the other day. Right now I have 10 designs. They come in 8 colors for each one. So if you look at our website and you see a picture with a certain color, click on it and look and see what other colors we have. I try to give as many options as possible on everything, because that's just how I am. I love options, So look for our grip stands. As far as everything for the holidays, they should be added this weekend. We have our ugly Christmas sweaters from last year. They're not actually knitted sweaters, but they look like it.
Uh-huh.
We're going to be having our stockings, ornaments back. This year I'll be adding tree skirts and cutting boards, like the wood edge cutting boards.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty nice. I'm looking into making cookie cutters. I'm having issues with that right now with the supplier. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have an answer for them to get them set up, so we'll have cookie cutters.
Cool.
I'm looking at sets of 5, so we'll have different designs
in what
for that.
shapes? What kind of shapes are you looking at?
What shapes do you want? So far I'm thinking lightning bolt, tornado, hurricane, because I've seen snowflakes,
Yeah.
I've seen raindrops. I've never seen a tornado cookie cutter, so I kind of want a
That
tornado cookie
I
cutter.
must have
love
this.
that. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what else are we gonna come out with? I'm gonna have our Christmas shirts back, the winter shirts, charm bracelets. I can do. I think we're gonna add some Bluetooth speakers too, if I can get the price right, because I don't want to charge an arm and a leg for that. Sherpa fleece blankets. That's another one we're gonna be adding.
Okay.
Oh wow.
They're pretty comfortable, but those are gonna be like more of our high dollar because they're just blankets are not cheap. I don't know why. I wish they were. They should be cheap for everybody, because it's freezing.
And I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
As far as stuff we have right now, we do have our hoodies, hoodie blankets, and hoodie dresses. I've been asked all summer, when are we getting hoodies back? And I'm like, it's summertime. Why do you need hoodies? But we added them now, so they're all there. And if anybody wants zip-ups, any type of other outerwear, or anything you want, really, just let me know. I can see what I can do for you. If there's a size or a color or anything you don't have, just let me know.
Justin, I got a good one for you. And I've thought about this for a long time. It's a good saying for a shirt. I love me a good haboob.
Oh my God. I think I remember. Was it you that had tweeted that to me?
I did tweet that to you.
I thought so. Yeah, I need to add that. I had one the other day. I heard.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's my favorite. I heard this song the other day, Photograph by Nickelback. So one of my designs, one of my designs I'm coming out with is a guy holding up a Polaroid, and it says, "Look at this photograph." Instead of photograph, so
oh my God,
I have to figure out how to do that. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'll tell our listeners and viewers, if you're not familiar with Helicity Designs, you got to go to helicitydesigns.com, because it's all these sayings and that are really unique, and it's the use of not only weather terms but weather images. That if you're a weather freak, all these hoodies and all these everything he's talking about, he's putting this stuff on those things, and that's what's great. Are you in a position to talk about the potential subscription box?
Yes.
I'm putting you on the line here, but I figured let's do it.
Well, I'm the type of guy who I come up with an idea, say I'm going to do it, and I figure out how I'm going to do it after. So I came up with the idea, said I was going to do it, and then figured out how I was going to do it after. And it took me about a year of research to figure this out. And we're looking at January or February to start the subscription boxes. The only thing we haven't decided yet is how often it'll be. And it's really up to everyone, you guys, what the public thinks it should be. If you want it every month, quarterly, it's whatever the demand is, because it's not for me, it's for everyone else, something that the weather community needs, something we didn't have, because this community is just as important as every other community out there, if not more so. So I feel like it's up to you guys.
So we'll have like shirts, or just like your newest products, or we'll just kind of have...
Well, it'll have. I want to say it's going to have shirts. I'm thinking of other little things to add to it, because you got to have a balance.
Yeah.
Of what you put in it. You got to have some stuff that you offer, and you have to have some stuff you don't sell in your store.
Yeah.
So it just depends what companies are willing to come on board. I've contacted a few, and a lot of weather products out there cost a lot of money, and they're not made to be put in a subscription box. It would be a $100 subscription box,
I hear Red Cross water packs are pretty cheap nowadays. You can just stick those in there.
Yeah, you see, and stuff like that. Just let me know what you guys think, or if anyone's listening that has a product they want me to include, let me know. Like, my inbox is always open all day and night.
So that being said, how can people contact you about that, Justin?
I will say you can email me at justin@helicitydesigns.com. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I have a Snapchat too, but I don't really use it because no one else does. Or just visit our website, click the contact bar. There's many ways you can contact me. And I will say, if you go to our site, join the Weather Geeks Club, you earn 1,000 points for every $10 you spend. If you refer a friend, they get 5% off. Plus, after their first purchase, you get 2,000 points. And you can use that toward rewards later on. So, and the more rewards you earn, the more you rank up, the more points you earn after that. So it's just a whole system. So sign up for that, start earning your points, and that's
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what. I also want to mention, we've been happy to work with Justin to be the exclusive carrier of all of our Stormfront Freaks podcast merchandise, including shirts. That's where you can get our Lightning Round Tour shirt it looks like a concert tour shirt. And on the back, it's got the first 50 episodes and the guests that we've had on those first 50 episodes. We've got our Only You Can Prevent #WeatherFool shirt. We got What Are You Drinking, which is an image of the extreme about to chuck a bottle into a tornado. The Best Damn Weather podcast shirt. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff, as well as drinking containers, which tumblers. Is extremely fitting for us. But anyway, the one thing.
And we do. Hold on.
Yeah.
We do have wine tumblers. I don't know if they're on the site, but I will check it out later. So if you like to drink your wine on the go, get a wine tumbler.
They are.
We always want to drink our wine. So yes.
The wine
marathons, 5Ks.
The wine tumblers are there. So anyway, and the other thing too, which is fun for all of our listeners and viewers, Justin has worked it out so you can get 5% off your entire order, whether it's Stormfront Freaks merch or not, if you use the code SFF at checkout. So SFF stands for Stormfront Freaks. But if you use SFF, you'll get a 5% discount on your entire order. So feel free to use that as well. So Justin, appreciate it. You got some extremely creative stuff, and I think some great stuff for people's Christmas lists. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, so I'll tell you what. So this is a reminder. This is our third annual holiday weather shopping extravaganza. So the idea is to give you guys some great ideas for maybe not only your own Christmas list, so you can tell your friends and family some of the things that you might want for Christmas, but also to think of your friends and family that might be weather freaks like us, or just could use maybe some of these items we're going to cover. It's just an opportunity to hopefully give you some ideas. So I'm going to start off, DINA. We have an AlertWorks EAR-10 Emergency Alert Weather Radio. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you guys can see what it looks like. It kind of looks like a clock radio. The only difference that you would even notice is that it does have an antenna. That's really the only difference, and that's kind of why I like it. It gets only the alerts you want. You could program your county that same localized programming. It's very loud, looks like the clock radio. It does have 3 LED lights, and I know the picture I've got here, it lights up for like watch, warning, or advisory. It does have a battery backup, which is nice. It comes in black or white, and it's about $35 on alertworks.com.
So again, another great idea for a weather radio.
Yeah.
To maybe give to family or friends.
Yes.
As well. So I like that. All right. Maz, I'm going to go to you. You're going to talk a little bit about this is a great device if you are a storm chaser, storm spotter.
Yeah.
But it's the Kestrel 5500 weather meter.
Yeah, if you've got an engineer who's working on projects and needs a device, this is it. This is so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it's the Kestrel 5500 weather meter with LINK link wireless connectivity. It comes in different colors, but let me tell you, this thing is an instrument pack like you wouldn't believe it is. And when they say it's the world's most complete weather meter, and it is also the most portable weather station you've got around. It's handheld. It does wind speed.
I should have picked that one.
Oh, wait, hang on. Wind speed, temperature, humidity, pressure, direction, wet bulb. I mean, it's got elevation, altitude, wind chill, 14 other meteorological measurements in real time and stored in memory so that you can connect it through Bluetooth and things like that to your computers. Ooh. It's waterproof. So that's why it's $399.
I was going to say, how you got that one?
Still, this is nice. So cool.
Can it predict the weather?
$399. Well? That's
Well, which is why I got out of weather, because I knew something like this was coming. Right. This and I'll just tell you, this is so cool, and it's the device that now in 2018, almost 2019, you've got it all right here.
Yeah,
it's
the fact that you can connect it to your phone and then share the information is important. Yeah,
and it's waterproof, and I haven't dropped it, but and it's so easy to program, which is what I like. I'm like, oh, it's a thick book, and it's like, oh, just do this, this, and this, and I'm like, no way. And it'll change it to like pascals or millibars or all kinds of different Yeah, measurements. So it's
that's
cool.
sweet.
Very cool.
And that's and I'll be honest with you. I mean, you if you're a serious storm chaser, especially, or a storm spotter, if you're serious about that stuff, that's great because it is pretty much a weather station.
Yep.
But it's portable, fits right in the palm of your hand. Again, as Matt's talked about, it's not cheap because you are getting a freaking weather station.
Yeah,
in the
you
palm of
are.
your hand. So it's $3.99 if you get the Link wireless connectivity, which allows you then to also send that information to your phone, your tablet, whatever it is. That's $4.89, but you can get that at KestrelInstruments.com. Is certainly where you can find that. Okay.
So cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So, you guys, some of you are old enough to remember the good old pocket transistor radios.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's just AM. You know, it's like a
Brady
transistor
doesn't know
radio.
what it looks like.
He has no clue. But this, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. So, what I'm going to show you here, this is a Sangean DT800. It's an AM/FM weather pocket radio. So you can see it again. It's a situation where it can fit in the palm of your hand. It's a one speaker. It's got a speaker on it, right? So you don't have to plug in headphones, but you can if you want. Comes in dark gray or yellow. It is public alert certified with automatic alert, so it is also a weather radio that will alert you if you're in that. It's got 45 memory preset stations, auto scan. It's an alarm timer with buzzer and snooze. So again, it's great for portable if you're out hiking, camping, all that kind of stuff. It's got dynamic bass boost.
Whoa.
So I mean, if you want to listen to
Fancy.
FM radio, and listen to some music, you can actually boost the bass on the speaker on this thing. You can power it with AC adapter or rechargeable batteries. But a neat little pocket radio, AM, FM, and weather retails at $99, and you can find it at Amazon.com, and you can probably find it for a little less than that. It retails at $99. I saw Amazon as of a couple days ago it was less than that. And all these products I'll probably share with you if you actually go to Amazon.com, or you can probably find some of these things cheaper than the retail price as well. But I want to make sure you know what the official price on these things is. All right, I'm going to jump over to MJ. One of the things we want to talk about, so we covered the portable weather station that Maz had. This might be something a little more focused and permanent and rugged with the Accurite Atlas weather station. And I know this is new, but MJ, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's a new device from Accurite, and it is like a home weather station. It looks like an alien head.
Let's see.
It's pretty big. It's larger than their 5-in-1 model. If you remember, it's outside on a 20-foot pole right now. So I can't show it to you because it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is monitoring the weather, tracks temperature, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, rainfall, UV exposure, light intensity, pressure, wind chill, and a bunch of other things too. It has an optional module, which I have installed, to track lightning. We just don't get lightning in Minnesota in November very often.
Thunder snow.
No.
Yes, we get that. We haven't had that yet.
Does it play AC/DC at the same time?
Yes. But it has 3 solar panels on it, and those are for running the fan, which keeps the temperature consistent. So it's extremely accurate. And I had a weather station before, and I essentially put this one in place, and then I kind of watch our local airport has National Weather Service readings, and it has been spot on. So I'm really impressed with the accuracy. It has a high definition touchscreen display that I can show you right there.
I love Accurite stuff. I really do.
And that is a really nice touchscreen display. It cycles through a whole bunch of different settings. You can put an SD card in it to get the readings, the logs saved. But it also will transmit through the Accurite Access device, which plugs into your network, plugs into a network connection, and then that will send data to Weather Underground. And so you can report your results through Weather Underground. And so we have that set up as well. Transmits data every 10 seconds, has a wireless range up to 330 feet, so it can be that far away from you. So I'm really, really impressed with it.
Wow, that's
it's a really
fancy.
cool device. The MSRP on it, or suggested retail price, $149. If you add,
that's not bad.
No, that's not bad. But you have to, if you add the display, the remote monitoring, and lightning, you can get it up to $389. You could get by with just the device and the remote monitoring. And that would then send and then you can use the app on the phone, or you can use Weather Underground to see what your results are.
Show the screen.
This is an extra. This is an extra add-on piece that comes with it. I have to keep talking so that you can continue to see it.
Yeah, that's great. I like it.
So there you go. It's cool.
And you can find that at accurite.com.
That is right.
Yep. But I tell you what, they've got some high-end weather stations, and if you're a weather geek, I mean, that's pretty cool to be able to have your own weather station and also be sending it to Weather Underground for official, temperature and readings and rain. And I know, DINA, you've got one as well.
I love it.
From a year or two ago.
And it does. I bought the hub thing to send it out to Weather Underground, and everybody can check it, and the neighborhood's got it.
That's cool. That's cool. Nice. All right, next item I'm going to show you. So we've been talking about weather radios and kind of talking a little bit about the, as the Bruces called it, the Swiss Army knife kind of weather radios, the catch-all. I'm going to talk about the GPX. This is the WR383R. And what it is, AM/FM weather band radio with flashlight and lantern. And so what I love about this, so see it looks like a portable. It's kind of red and black. It's a little bit bigger than the handheld ones, not by a lot. One of the cool things is, if you watch this, it does have a flip-up handle, so it reminds me of my old boombox days. But it's
styling.
Yeah, it's got a flip-up handle on it. But a little bit about this device. So I mentioned it's AM, FM, and weather band. It has an emergency siren. So again, if you're out and about and need to...
Whoa!
And look at this.
Nice.
The flashlight flashes red too while you do that.
Jam on it.
Tornado, you just go around the neighborhood with that blaring, right?
That's right. So it's got an LED flashlight, and it's also got a separate LED lantern. So what's cool on one side is it has a solar panel to help charge it. But if you lift the solar panel up on the side, there is a lantern underneath, LED lantern. So it doubles as a lantern, which is kind of cool. It's got hand crank, so you got the solar panel, the hand crank, you got DC power or rechargeable battery, so there's 4 ways to keep it going. It does have the mobile phone charger on the back to plug in USB. And the one thing that I thought was kind of cool, which you don't see on a lot of them, but if you look at the top, it has a little thermometer.
Neat.
How about that?
So awesome. You can keep track of what the temperature is wherever you happen to be. But this is the GPX called the WR383R radio. And this is what's neat, guys. The retail price, $24.
Oh,
serious?
Not bad.
$24 at gpx.com. So go to
That's a great gift
gpx.com.
right there.
Again, beautiful gift. Good idea, Kim. All right, we're gonna let's jump to Brady. We just had Rick Reichmuth on last episode. The good old Weatherman golf and collapsible umbrellas. What can you tell us about that, Brady?
Well, I got 3 words for you, and they all start with a B. It is big. It's a big black beast. I mean, look at this thing. It is the Mac Daddy of all umbrellas. When Rick was on the show, I did not believe him at all because not at all, but I was thinking, it's an umbrella. How much different could it be? This thing is the most durable, sturdy umbrella I've ever had. And everyone in the Northeast could have used this tonight. But a couple of things about it. It can hold off 55-mile-an-hour winds. It's got Bluetooth technology, which is really cool. So if you ever lose it, you can track it on the Weatherman app.
So if somebody steals your umbrella at work, you can find out who did it.
At work, or if you leave it at the desk. Exactly.
Is that the official Kingsman umbrella?
It is the official Kingsman umbrella. It's so big, I'm sure you could body slam someone with this. That's how durable it is. So it comes in multiple colors, not only black, but it's collapsible. As you can see, it goes down nice and easy. It's got a 51-inch or a 55-inch diameter. It ranges anywhere from $59 to $99, $95 retail. You can find all that at weathermanumbrella.com. Definitely recommend this because it is quite the umbrella. I will say that.
Is the white reflective? It looks reflective.
It is reflective.
Oh, it looked blue and blue from here.
It's white. It's like white, and it's definitely reflecting. So
it's got reflective tape. Remember, we talked about because someone got hit by a bus or something with their.
That's right.
Their black umbrella.
And it's very low key. Like, it's got this logo, but it's not super obnoxious. You can take this to work. You can take it anywhere. So it's pretty cool.
So a couple of things. So Brady talked about it can withstand because it has fiberglass ribs It's got Teflon coated panels to keep the rain off, but it withstands 55-mile-per-hour winds. And so there's 3 different types. So one is a collapsible. So again, the kind that you want to fit in your bag or something like that. They have one that's collapsible that collapses down to 19.5 inches. But then you hit the button, the whole thing pops up, right, like any other one. And then they have a stick umbrella, and then the Mac Daddy is the golf umbrella that comes in 51 or 55-inch diameter styles. And so is it a pricey umbrella? Sure it is, but you're getting the Mac Daddy. I mean, it comes with a device that you connect Bluetooth right to your phone, and then you put it in the umbrella. You slide it in a pocket that comes in the umbrella. So again, you can track it, where to go, where did I misplaced it, what did I do with it.
Who stole it?
And there's also an app that connects to tell you, do you need to take your umbrella with you today? Do you need to? It'll tell you that
that's
before
cool.
you leave for the day as well.
Cool.
So,
Take me with you.
Yeah. So
Rick did a great job of figuring out, what you really need in the Mac Daddy of umbrellas. This is
you're not getting wet underneath that thing. I can tell you that right now. You're not getting any wet.
No, I have one. It's awesome.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, let's. I'm going to hit now a couple things. This is going to be unique because these are some apps, some weather apps. And so we've talked a little bit about in the past, some of our shows, we talked about weather apps. And, there are some apps out there that get horrible data and they don't really do much for you. And you hear people talking about it all the time. But if you're thinking of a gift to give a friend, family member, loved one, I got a couple for you. And they both come from DINA back, and I can't remember what episode it was, but when you were a guest with Paxton Calvanese.
Right.
Who had an app at the time for pilots that helped to determine the weather specifically for pilots, how to read. What do you call that? The weather report. What's it called?
Are you just talking about the METARs and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And how he figured out how to put that in a much more readable design.
Or
it's called
or some of the PyReps or something. Yeah.
So anyway, he's come out with 2 apps. One's been out here just for a little bit, and I think one's just now getting released. But the first one I want to talk about, it's called Atmosphere Weather. Atmosphere Weather, I know this is on iOS as well as Android. But a little bit about this app, and this, I'm telling you guys, I am using this thing like you cannot believe. I think you guys were part of the beta on this at one point. But what he's done, he took that circle idea that he had previously, and he put it on an app so you can, it's maybe hard to see, I'm trying to reach it to the camera here, but he basically put the next 24 hours in a circle, and it tells you exactly what the temperature forecast is for each hour, tells you any precipitation for each hour for the upcoming 24 hours. You can swipe to get wind speed for the next each hour for the 24 hours. And then in the center is a radar for your area. So it also shows you radar in the center of this circle. You can even tap the circle to get your current temp and your current wind speed. And then on the bottom, you can then go, okay, tomorrow, what's the 24-hour circle look like? 3 days from now, what's the 24-hour circle look like? And it's kind of a one-touch. I go to one screen and I can see everything instead of trying to search.
Yeah.
Forecast, hourly forecast, radar, all this stuff is on one screen. So here's the deal. This is actually a free app. So you can actually go right now and find this free, and it gives you 3 days forecast.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Yeah.
Yep. But so the free version allows 3 locations, so you can put 3 locations on there as well as 3 days forecast. The full version gives you 7 days, so you'll get 7 circles of the 24 hours and all that stuff. You can save 25 locations, and listen to this, you've got the ability to import your calendar events. So you can have a certain
that's
event,
a good idea.
and it will tell you exactly from this time to this time what's the weather during that particular event you have on your calendar. The full version retail is $3.99. So you talk about a cool gift you could give a family member is a sweet weather app that really works and really allows you to see everything you need to see. Again, that's on iOS and Android, and that's called Atmosphere Weather. It's from One Echo Charlie, but Paxton Calvanese is the designer of that. The second app that I believe, is just releasing. It's just coming out now. This is, I think, pretty cool, especially for the holidays. It's called Drive Weather. Drive Weather. And here's the deal. You put in, you pull it up and you put in where you're at and where you're driving to. Okay? So I live down in Cincinnati. My family's up in Minnesota, and I've got family in Wisconsin. So I can put in my location. I can put in where I'm going, and it'll give me a map of my route. It'll tell me currently what the temperature, any precipitation going on, where I'm at, and along my route. It's got little circles and temperature that show me what it's going to be when I get to those locations on my route.
Cool.
And that is cool, but here's what's even better. If I see it and I go, oh, crap, by the time I'm going to be in Chicago, it's going to be snowing, on the bottom, I can change what time I leave, and I can adjust. It's a slide rule, and I can adjust and go, well, what if I leave an extra hour later?
Oh,
and it will change what the new forecast is going to be along my entire route, and I can go, well, when will it not be snowing on my route? And I can look and say, well, if I wait 3 hours, I can leave, and I shouldn't be hitting snow on my route home.
Wow.
Oh, that's neat.
Is that awesome or what?
That's
So,
awesome.
Totally.
so it's called Drive Weather. Again, it's from 1 Echo Charlie. It's got a subscription, so it's an annual subscription of $24.99 a year. And again, it's on iOS and Android. But I'm loving this thing.
Yeah, if you're a truck driver
huge.
Oh, no
or
kidding.
pre-Thanksgiving, the most traveled holidays, that's big. That's big.
That is neat.
So that is awesome. All right, and then the last thing I want to cover and share with everybody is I sent this out to all of our co-hosts as a little Christmas gift. But I sent them, if
It's
you guys,
cool.
everybody should be darn familiar with the movie Twister and the Dorothy sensors. Remember those little round ball Dorothy sensors?
There it is, right there. Looking at it right there.
They
Very
couldn't
cool.
get them up in the air, so they had to cut up some pop cans and make them into little propellers and add those. So there's an individual on this is Etsy, Etsy.com. You guys familiar with Etsy.com?
Yeah.
So go to Etsy.com and look up Nimbus Storms. So he goes by Nimbus Storms, but if you look this up, you're going to find that he sells Dorothy sensor holiday ornaments. So it's the Dorothy sensor with a little, I don't know, what do you call that, a loop or something on the end, right? So you can hang it on your Christmas tree. And if you are a weather geek or you know of any weather geeks, this is an unbelievable, sweet little Christmas gift that looks exactly like those Dorothy sensors. And anyway, he sells them for $11.99. And again, you
Thank
can
you,
get
Phil.
them.
That's cool.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Santa.
So you can get them at Etsy.com, and it's from Nimbus Storms. Okay.
Going right on my tornado tree.
I know, Kim. I definitely thought of you on that. I'm like, you and your tornado tree. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I don't think I have to go Christmas shopping at all. I think I have all my ideas. Right
I know.
I
There you
know.
go.
It's awesome.
All right, so if you want more information on any of these great Christmas ideas that we shared with you, go ahead and check out episode 66 show notes, and all the links will be on there on our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. And a lot of times, if you're listening to our podcast on your phone, a lot of times the show notes will just be right on there as well, and you'll see all those links to all those great devices. So you guys have anything else to add on any of that stuff?
No.
All right. So let's do this. That was awesome. MJ, let's finish with if we got any listener questions or comments.
Hey, we got a couple comments that have been put in on mostly Twitter, I think. SWX Clicks says, just listen to episode number 65. The burger position lightning round was hilarious. Thanks for the good laugh. And we had a good laugh with that.
Ladies, we missed you on that one.
I missed it.
And Ray Leichner at Storm Chaser Ray adds, I haven't laughed this hard than I have in the past 2 days with you guys.
Nice.
He listened to that episode as well. And also on that episode, Mary Ellen Bond at Bond M53 says, thank you. Sending to my son who lives and loves weather. Quit dream because he couldn't do math. He needs to fulfill his dream, which is a reference to what Rick Reichmuth was talking about on episode 65.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go.
I was going to ask her how old her son is before she sent that particular episode.
Let's Kama Sutra.
I got to get that book. I got to go to the library. Check out yeah. Okay. So that I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. We always want to thank you guys for listening and watching. But before I reveal our next guest, if you enjoy the show, do us a favor. Leave a great review on the podcast app that you use. And don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. Works just like a magazine or newspaper subscription. It just makes sure that the minute we release the latest episode, it's showing up right in your podcast inbox for you to be able to listen to. Big shout out to our special guests tonight, the Bruces, Bruce Jones and Bruce Thomas. From Midland, as well as Justin Allen from Helicity Designs for stopping by. Also, special thanks to all the participating companies in this year's holiday weather shopping extravaganza as well. Some great ideas for Christmas. And here's a big heads up, guys. Be looking. We've done this every year. We're doing it again. Be looking to our Twitter and Facebook accounts for the 5 weeks of Christmas giveaways of these amazing products. So all of these products we just talked about, we're actually be giving them away as well. So you can put them on your Christmas list, but we might take care of Santa for you as well. Oh. So if you don't follow us on Twitter or Facebook, just search Stormfront Freaks. Make sure you follow us because we're going to be sending those out ASAP starting this weekend. So be looking for those giveaways.
Or you'll be sorry.
You will be sorry. Because I'm telling you guys, we're giving away that Kestrel meter. We're giving away the Atlas Accurite weather station and all these weather radios. We've got
that's a lot of good stuff.
Umbrellas, all that stuff is going to be available. So be looking for it. All right, so our next episode in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording on November 29th with Jim Williams of HurricaneCity.com. We're going to see how his predictions for 2018 were and see if he's got anything coming up for the 2019 season. If you'd like to check it out and watch the recording live, it's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Just go ahead and check out our YouTube channel by searching Stormfront Freaks. All right, so for MJ, Matt, we got the whole crew, Maz, Brady, Kim, DINA. I'm going to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I'm going to signal the all clear, and we will catch you guys next time.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good one. Don't eat too much.
Eat too much.
Thank you for listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Find our bi-weekly show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Watch our shows on YouTube and Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. For show notes, additional information about this episode, as well as past and upcoming shows, videos, photos, merchandise, and more, visit our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. While you're there, check out our live interactive storm chaser radar provided by our friends at zoomradar.com. If you would like to contact us with questions or make comments about the show, shoot us an email to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com or follow us on Twitter or Facebook. Search for Stormfront Freaks. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time and tell a friend about the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
But like to do a chemical spell or something, I never knew it did that.
Yeah, a lot of biggies are in there. Terrorist attack. Boil water order. They could let you know that the 911 system is out and give you an alternative number to call in an emergency. There's a lot of things that you can get on there.
Alien attack.
Alien
zombie
attack.
apocalypse.
Zombie.
We actually, one of our customer service reps said she actually got a call from a lady recently, and the lady didn't sound like she was completely there, but she was asking if she would get a zombie attack warning on NOAA Weather Radios.
No.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
Just say yes.
You will.